now that you understand the principle behind a website conversion, let's now dive deep into how to set up your website so that it actually will convert inbound traffic into leads. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be using the Grumpy Hair websites to demonstrate what you need to do in order to dramatically improve your conversion rate and alongside with that, your Google rankings. So if you're not in my program, you probably don't know this, but a whole other similar set of data that we collected, we actually reverse engineered the Google algorithm. And the secret of the Google algorithm is simply this. In order for you to rank, you need to show to Google that you have the highest conversions. In other words, the more leads you get, the higher you will rank. So by tackling the website conversion problem, you are automatically, inherently, also going to rank a lot higher. The more leads you get, the more you convert inbound traffic into leads, or higher you will rank. So you will solve both problems by simply focusing on converting your inbound traffic into leads. Now, and the reason behind that is that Google cares about value you provide to its audiences, right? The website that provides most value will always rank number one. If Google doesn't rank the website that provides its user with more value, Google's users are not going to be happy with Google and they're going to use Yahoo. So keep that in mind, okay? So the higher your conversion rate is, the higher you will rank. That's why it's so important to really fine-tune your website conversion rate so that you can attract more of your ideal traffic and obviously then convert them into leads so you can make actually some decent money, okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about, okay? What exactly is Grumpy Hair? Let's start there. Grumpy Hair will completely redefine the real estate investing online lead generation landscape. That was a mouthful. What I told you in the beginning, in order to build, construct, design a website that is fine-tuned for conversions, you first need to understand what motivates a motivated seller into filling in your forms. In order for me to make you understand that, let me give you the following example, okay? People don't go to Google to find answers to their questions. Let me repeat this. It sounds very counterintuitive, but you'll get what I'm saying. People don't resort to Google to find answers to their questions. People turn to Google to find the right answer to their questions. Because there are many, many answers. They will pick the answers that speaks to them the most. So, similarly, a motivated seller doesn't go to Google to find a company to sell their house to. Not at all. A motivated seller turns to Google to find a company they can trust to sell their house to. And think about it for a second, okay? If it was the first one, that they just go to Google to find a company to sell their house to, any old direct marketing, cold calling, or text messaging would work if they just wanted a company to sell their house to. But it doesn't. In fact, do you know how many leads I get from my competitors' marketing effort? I get tons of phone calls saying, hey, I received your mailer through the mail yesterday. Can you explain how it works? They send the mailers. They see We Buy Houses. They said, who the hell is that? And what is that? Is it really real? They go to the internet to find out if it's real. They find me blasted all over the internet. They either think I'm better, way more credible. I didn't harass them. I didn't invade their private space. And they think I'm way more legitimate, way more reputable. And they pick me. They spend the money. I get their leads. Again, it's not an opinion. This is data. People do not go to Google to find a company to sell their house to. People go to Google to find a company they can trust to sell their house to, okay? So that's the first important concept, okay? So it's all about trust. It's all about that feeling. In other words, you really need to make sure that your ideal traffic, motivated sellers, when they land on your website, that you manage to make them feel like they can trust you, that you are the right choice for them. So that is what it boils down to, okay? Then the question becomes, fine, how do we do that? And that is a very good question. Now, I have developed the 3 pillars to a conversion, okay? These 3 pillars will make sure, if you do it right, that your audience will find you credible, likable, awesome, and they feel like they can trust you if you apply those 3 pillars to your website. And it, at first, not sight, I guess, but at first ear, it seems very trivial. But bear with me for a second, okay? Here are these 3 pillars. The first one is layout. The second one is content. And the third one is presentation. Now, remember what I told you, okay? You have to do this right for it to work, guaranteed. You have to do it right. Now, so let's talk about the layout. The layout is all about the structure of your website. It doesn't matter if your content is on point, exactly what you need to hear. It doesn't matter that your presentation is on point, the right pictures, the right colors, the right everything. If your layout sucks, if you start with an ending and end with the beginning, it doesn't matter what you say. It's completely confusing. People will be completely confused. They're not going to sit there to try to figure it out. They'll bounce. So it doesn't matter if everything else is perfect. If your layout doesn't make sense, you're not going to build the trust because nobody's going to even know what you're talking about, okay? So that's the layout. Now let's talk about the content. Similarly, if your layout is fantastic, you have your introduction, you have your body, you have your conclusion, and your presentation is amazing, pages and everything. If you talk gibberish, if you talk slang, if you talk things that just don't make sense or people don't agree with, people are going to think you're a clown. People are going to think you're not credible, you're uneducated, you're just not trustworthy. People are not going to sit there and decipher your content. They will bounce, okay? So now you have the layout, you have the content. Now, check out the third one. Most people think that the third one is the least important one. It's just a presentation, right? The third one is the most important one. People may tolerate your broken English or your gibberish writing. People may tolerate weird layouts, but nobody is going to force themselves read a mountain of text. No effort put into presenting the information the right way. Nobody is going to care about you. Nobody's going to give you a chance to read your amazing content. The presentation is what makes people begin reading your content. Without presentation, they will never even give you a chance. Never. So presentation is what starts the entire process. So once your presentation is on point, then you need to make sure that the content and your layout is also on point, and that all should not be seen as individual 3 items. They all integrate together in a symbiotic relationship. Okay? So it's very, very important you know this. Now, so those are the 3 pillars of a conversion. So now keep this in mind. If you are using the Grumpy Hair website, don't worry about it. It's done for you. If you are not using the Grumpy Hair website and use something else, I can tell you right now, I have seen every single template out there, I believe, and none take this into account. They start with, are you in foreclosure? That is not the way to introduce yourself. That is not the way to make a good impression. Not only doesn't it make sense, because from my data, believe me when I'm telling you, foreclosure, absentee owner, probate, tax liens, they have a 0.1 less than that conversion rate. 99.9% of actually motivated sellers are not in foreclosure. They're not in tax lien. I mean, if you just want to think about it, you need to send probably like 5,000 letters, but let's make the numbers round, okay? If you need to send 1,000 mailers, calls, or texts to the foreclosure list to get one contract signed, it means 999 people on that list that you're chasing said no to you. Only one said yes, if lucky. That one person that said yes to you is a 0.1% conversion rate, which means 99.9% of the people that you're chasing are not motivated. Just think about it again. If you need to send 1,000 mailers, calls, or texts to get one contract signed, it means 999 people of your list of 1,000 said no to you. You get that, right? 999 of your list of 1,000 said no to you. How can anybody dare to convince you that the foreclosure, absentee owners, probate, tax lien, inherited, debt list, job default list, relocation list, whatever list you're going after is the right audience? It's not. If you start with, are you in foreclosure? 99.9% of the people will be turned off. You look like a low bottle. You look like a vulture. Dude, seriously? Start with, hello, my name is Gerald. I am a cash buyer and I'm here. I'm willing, able, ready, competent to buy your house in cash. I don't care what problem you have. I don't care how hard your problem is. I'm here. I can buy your house. If you start there, you will resonate with 100% of your traffic on the website. If you start with, are you in foreclosure? If lucky, you will find 0.01% of the people will actually find your site relevant. Just throwing it out there. So if you're on the grumpy hair, it's done for you. If you're not on the grumpy hair, make sure that you have those 3 pillars in place. Hire a coder, hire who you have to hire, because I know that the other website templates are hell to work with. The grumpy hair has just drag and drop, literally. You can drag and drop entire pre-designed sections. So we're very proud of that. But yeah, hire a coder, go to wherever you need to go to and have them make sure that you have the 3 pillars and that your site feels like it's actual cool professional design on there, right? So you need to not just, remember I told you, presentation is the most important part. So if you just have a mountain of text and your website just look amateur, forget it, okay? Spend the money and have somebody code it in, but make sure that's done. Now, if you do decide to switch to the grumpy hair, awesome, you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're brilliant, you're amazing, thank you very much. If you do, then it's a lot easier because now we only have one group, okay? So everybody now is in the same group. So let me now quickly walk you through how to pick your template. And I hate to call them templates because they're not really templates. The whole point of a template is a one size fits all. What we have developed is not a one size fits all. Every template is uniquely defined. It's set up for your individuality. You will see why right now.